play the game. I mean, get up today and be involved in something this exciting, something that guys have worked so hard for. By the grace of God, we're able to do that. And we're looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity that's in front of us. What questions you have?
With all the experience that Lamar has had now, sixth season now, do you think he's more prepared for this postseason than ever before?
I think everybody's really prepared and excited to play. Lamar's ready to go. The guys are ready to go. They've worked hard for this opportunity to get to this point and compete in such a big game, against such a worthy opponent. Playing a very good football team, and we've got our hands full, and we're hoping to put our best foot forward.
John, the elements certainly don't feel like a couple of the games we saw this past weekend, but it is expected to be pretty cold. How do you prepare for that? Are you planning on getting outside at all this week, tomorrow, whatever? But how do you kind of prepare for that?
Yeah, we'll practice it. We practiced it the last couple of weeks. It was pretty cold the last couple of weeks, a lot of wind, so that's been good for us. I kind of feel good about that. We will get out there tomorrow. I really believe we'll be able to get out there tomorrow. The field was frozen today, so we weren't able to get out there today. But tomorrow looks like we should.
John, what stands out to you about this Houston team that's so different than you saw week one? What can you point to?
Houston team?
Yeah.
They're just 17 weeks better. I think they do a good job. Obviously, they've steadily improved every single week. I thought they were a very good football team week one. I think if you go back and check your records, you'll find that. So they haven't surprised me or they haven't surprised us. They've done pretty much what I thought they were going to do. They're a very good football team. They're very talented. They play very hard. They execute at a high level. CJ's just doing a phenomenal job. Nico Collins, Michigan guy, man, he's a go-to guy for him. A lot of skill players, good offensive line, playing very physical. Defense is all over the field, as you'd expect. Obviously, just a very good football team.
John, we saw Mark Andrews make a nice grab there doing drills right before we left. And what have you seen from him just physically since he's been back practicing? And is there a hope he might be able to play this week?
Yeah, I think today was his best showing so far. He really took a big step. Just what you saw today, we saw as well. So it's encouraging. We'll just have to see how it goes.
What do you remember of being a rookie head coach, a rookie quarterback, and getting to the playoffs, and what you've seen in D'Amico Ryan and CJ Stroud in their first year? Is something like this, or you remembering those challenges of getting there?
It's a Wayback Machine there. I remember that run. It was exciting. Who did we beat in the first game?
Dolphins.
Who was it?
The Dolphins.
Dolphins. Oh yeah, I remember now. And we went down to Miami. Didn't Suggs have an interception, or was it Ed Reed?
Reed.
Yeah.
Reed. See, I remember it so well. You're just not thinking that way right now. You're thinking about what's in front of you. But then we went to Tennessee and beat Tennessee, and then we went to Pittsburgh and didn't win. I remember that.
does change this week? I mean, obviously playoffs, the win or go home element is thrown in there, but for you preparing your team, does anything drastically change from regular season to now?
You know, it's just the excitement of being in the playoffs. I mean, you understand it's true. We talk about being 1-0, and it comes into sharp focus in the playoffs. But our guys understand that's not something we need to talk about. We just understand that the teams, that are playing right now, there's 8 teams left, and it's the best 8 teams. And so you're playing high level. We've been playing those kind of games pretty much for the last number of weeks, and our preparation remains the same. We were great today, on point. I'm excited about that.
You did have the hardest schedule coming out of your late bye. You had the hardest schedule for about a 5-week run. How much does that help as you prepare for the playoffs?
It definitely helps. I mean, it sharpens you. It forges you, makes you stronger.
John, the plan when you guys signed Odell was to have him kind of ramp up the way that he has. And I know you weren't there at that workout in Arizona or wherever it was, but to see him kind of come along physically after missing your football, now being a guy who's been the kind of speed he is, what has, I guess, impressed you or stood out to you about kind of the way he's ramped up?
Yeah, definitely appreciate that question. I just think he's been through a lot. Odell's been through so much, and he's worked so hard, and it hasn't been easy. I mean, I think there's a lot of pain involved over the course of the last 2 years, and even throughout the course of the season, in terms of working through the different challenges. And he's at his best right now. And you see him out there; he looks really good. He's moving around excellent, fast. He's catching the ball. He's running great routes. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing what he does here.
John, did Pepe Williams tweak something, or he just wasn't all the way back from his ankle when he needed to route some stuff?
Yeah, I don't the medical details of it, but it wasn't there. It just wasn't there. As far as being ready to get out there and be safe, play at that level. So we looked at it, tried to get it there, and it just wasn't getting there. And then he did everything he could do, and he'll be back, next year, but it just wasn't there right now. All right, great, thank you.
Just throwing the ball left-handed, doing chest bumps out there. I mean, this playoff weeks, you seem very, very loose out there. Is that kind of how you feel right now?
Absolutely. We had some time off to regroup, lock back in, hike, answer.
Lamar, how much did it change for you once, it came to the realization that you guys were playing the Texans, once you actually figured out who your opponent was? Did anything change for you in terms of starting? I know you've been preparing, but mentally, did anything click for you then?
No, I just went right to film from the first time we played them. They just watched film from throughout the season, who they, from other opponents the Texans have played. Just went right to a film study.
How different do you feel they are from 17 weeks ago?
I believe they're more in sync as a team. I believe they had new guys getting used to their coach. They're playing lights out ball right now.
And Lamar, Coach Harbaugh just said that he feels like Odell is at his best right now. It's kind of been a long road for him. Is that how you see it, and how valuable will he be as a target for you with some trusted moments here in the postseason?
I believe throughout all season he's been each and every week getting better and better to being the player that he once was. Like I said, all year he's been. But yeah, as the playoffs start rolling, he's definitely gonna be one of the guys.
OBJ was in the Super Bowl just 2 years ago. How much do you guys lean on his experience, and how much guidance does he provide on the path to the Super Bowl?
We really don't lean on anyone's experience, because those were different teams. We just try to pick their brain from what they did to prepare for it, if anything, prepare for the game. But we pretty much just go as one unit.
Lamar, did you watch the weekend's games live? And if so, what did you think of C.J. Stroud? And then secondarily, how tough is it? Playoffs, rookie quarterback, you were there as a rookie. Is that a tough assignment? What do you remember from that?
No, I didn't watch it live. I didn't watch the game live. From my experience, he played better than I did. From my experience, he was throwing the ball all over the field, making things happen. He did great.
Ryan talked about how much Houston has changed since week one. How much do you think your team has changed since that first game in September?
We changed a lot as well. Just getting better and better, with our scheme, and just being one unit. We had a bunch of new pieces as well on offense, but we definitely getting set.
Lamar, I know you say you don't play against the other quarterback, and you study the other team's defense. But how much have you seen C.J. Stroud? What most impresses you about him?
Like you just answered it a little bit. You know, I don't really watch the games, but when I do catch glimpses of other quarterbacks, but him, he's just been non-talk on TV. You know, that's a guy who you're gonna see day in, day out. You know, 7. He's been throwing the ball all over the field. Even though one of his star receivers, Tate Dell, went down, he's still been making things happen with the guys he has.
Lamar, I know you would like to play better, and everybody would have over the years in the postseason. Do you feel after everything you've been through, that you're more prepared entering this postseason than ever before?
Yeah, I believe so.
Lamar, how meaningful would it be to get a win Saturday, to go to the AT Championship game for the first time in your career?
It'd be great. But we're gonna just handle everything a day at a time.
Lamar, you talked a lot this season about not wanting to peak too soon. Did you feel like you guys started to play your best football going into the postseason?
Yeah, that's the. I believe we was. You know, especially against the opponents we had. You know, playoff opponents, and that's the thing about that bye week. I was like, dang, we got a bye week. I believe we was getting into a groove. You know, we was getting more and more dialed in, but. It is what it is because, you know, Coach Harbaugh still made us practice like he was prepared for a game, so I believe we'll still be ready.
Lamar, John was saying yesterday that he felt like there was a lot of value in the stadium practice, even just driving to the venue, M&T. And did you take that time to visualize and kind of imagine what this weekend's going to be like?
No, you know, I pretty much just let last week be last week, and this one, you know, a different week. We actually planned this time, not practicing against each other, so. It was different for me.
Lamar, so you kind of mentioned that you felt toward the end of the season you're getting in the groove, and then the bye week happens. How do you kind of stay in that groove? Like this week, toward the end of the week and into the game, how do you make sure that you guys are still in that groove?
Just prepare and practice. You know, treating practices like we prepare for a game, and that's pretty much what we did last week. And then just to follow up for this week, you know, actually we got the game Saturday, so it helps us out.
Are you ready for 20 degrees?
I'm ready for whatever right now.
Lamar, when people talk about all this time off between playing, I mean, the preseason you didn't play at all, and then you geared up and it started from week 1. Can you make that comparison at all, or is it totally different because we're talking about postseason to preseason?
Yeah, I believe I can make it. You know, I don't have no other choice. You know, I sat out for the bye week, and now we're here.
Lamar, Bates, a guy who's flashed at times, but you guys have, you know, connected some, having connected on other plays. How dangerous, I guess, can he be if the rhythm is there and you guys can hit on some of these plays?
I believe very dangerous. You know, we got so many guys, great receivers and great tight ends and great running backs. Everyone can't shine at once. You know, everyone gonna shine all together. So you know, he can't really get all the flowers he deserves. You know, but to us, he definitely get his flowers because he's one of the ones.
Lamar, talking about rookies who have improved since week 1, how have you seen Zay Flowers improve, and what do you see from him? What are his vibes entering his first playoffs?
I mean, I really don't think he has to improve. He just got to keep doing what he's doing. You know, just being himself and playing how he's playing, whatever mode he's in before the game, just stay in that mode because he go out there and just ball out.
Yeah, I mean, how has he improved since week 1?
He's been playing the same. Should we just keep doing it? You know, just level up a little bit more.
Lamar, you know Mark as well as anybody on this team. What's it like to see him, you know, run some routes and kind of come along in that progress from his injury?
Great to see one of our guys back. You know, one of our main guys are back. But you just need him to keep preparing, keep getting better a day at a time. But we waiting on him.
In your 4 previous playoff games, the offense didn't score more than 20 points. How much more confident do you feel that this year's offense has the ability to put up the points you need to win in the playoffs?
Very confident. Very, very confident. Extremely confident.
Lamar, you said earlier this season that you were treating each game like it was a championship game until you got to that point. How do you think that mindset has helped you get this far, and how it will carry you forward, perhaps?
Just keeping my mind focused on the assignment. You know, not letting anything enter into my mind. You know, that'll mess up my thoughts for the game and stuff like that. And it's great. It's been great.
All right, thank you, Lamar.
Mr. Rowe, how would you describe the mentality of this team going into the playoffs?
Next game on the schedule, and we all know what's at stake. It's go home. I mean, it's go home or keep going, you know. And we know our mission, and we know how we feel about each other, and we know it's not going to end this week, so we're going to do everything in our power and play our style. We do that, everything else will take care of itself.
What was the Saturday practice like, and how are you feeling ahead of your first playoff game at M&T Bank?
It was pretty. I thought we got a lot of it. It was kind of funny you asked that because the head security, one of the head securities, Craig, he asked me. He was like, "Bro, man, you came in, you didn't really speak much. You just had this straight face, like it was a real game. I'm trying to tell you to relax in a sense." So it was just in that mindset, you know, when I get to the stadium, man, I'm thinking like, hey, it's time to go to war. So it was definitely good, and then it was also good from the standpoint of guys with families and stuff being able to hang out, kids being able to enjoy the stadium, enjoy foods, and just break bread amongst each other. So it was pretty sweet.
Roquan, you're a pretty intense guy during the regular season. I think that's a fair comment. How much more intense do you get for a playoff game?
I think you'll be there Saturday at what time? 4:30, and then we'll see.
I mean, do you take it up a notch?
You know, I think it's always up a notch, but hey, your life depends on it every single game throughout the season, and then playoffs, man. It's just, I don't think personally you try to, but just I think instincts just raise that standard. But at the end of the day, I'll see you there Saturday, and we'll see.
You guys, when you look at Texans from week 1, C.J. Stroud from week 1 to now, what stands out about where they've come?
Yeah, I think they're definitely improved, but hey, so have we. When you look at it, and yeah, they do a lot of good things. 26 is running the ball well. 7, he's very accurate, and then 12, the receiver, he's definitely coming on. So the offense is definitely clicking, but hey, we wouldn't want it any other way. So we're prepared for it, and we're ready to go to war, regardless of who it's against. And they're the team that's coming in here. So business is business to handle.
Roquan, if somebody from another team calls you and says, you know, you've been with Harbaugh for a year and a half now, what's it like to play for him? What would be your answer?
I'd say a really good coach, you know, listen to his players, and I would say just gonna get that work, demand the most out of you, and want you to maximize yourself day in and day out. And if you do that, feel like you get rewarded, and I'm a witness of it in a sense. So I love playing for him, and I'm, you know, grateful to be here. So we definitely got to get it for ourselves as well as him.
Think of the wins you guys had, especially in that stretch against the Jaguars, the Niners, the Dolphins. How much confidence does the success of your game plans and your ability to execute those game plans give you in a game where you've had so much time to prepare?
Honestly, what happened in the regular season happened in the regular season. We passed that. We're on to the postseason, and we don't need any extra confidence at all. We know exactly who we are. We're a bunch of dogs at the end of the day, and a nicer way of saying it, and guys that, you know, do anything for each other and try to, you know, knock off anybody that's trying to stop that coming in between us in a sense. So we don't need confidence by any means. We know exactly who we are, so we just got to come out and show that to the world who'll be watching, and versus a really good team in Houston.
Bro, you guys. How much do you guys as a defense feel like, you know, either whether it's pressure or responsibility is on you guys, just the way that how well you play this year to continue that into the playoffs?
Pressure, hell, I don't feel pressure at all, but some do say pressure bursts pipes to make diamonds. And hey, you know, I know a lot of guys in there like diamonds, so I would say we're in the diamond making business at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, we just got to come out and be who we are, and that's going to start from the first play to the last play, send a message, exactly who we are and what we've been all year. And this is a new year right here, so everybody is 0-0 going into each and every game, and it's about winning the game at hand, and that's our focus. And I know if we do everything to the standard that we know, everything else will work out for us.
Is there a different edge, you know, when you've had the bye week and then some guys didn't play against the Steelers? Is there a different edge to this defense given the time off now?
I think there's an edge anytime you go out there and put everything on the line with your guys, regardless of who the opponent is. It can be Pop Warner team. It can be, you know, maybe say your parents want to come out there and play against you guys. They got to get it. So I don't think it's anything extra, regardless of like with the time off and stuff. But I definitely know we are ready to go to war, and whoever's on that battlefield versus us have to get dealt with accordingly.
All right, thank you, Roquan.
Assignment, and there's no teams that are here by mistake or accident. You know, every team here is the best of the best in the business. So we approach it like that, and whatever I can do to help, that's what I'm going to do.
Odell, now that you went through an entire regular season at you're through the bye week of the postseason. Now that you're into actual game prep, game week. What changes? I mean, is the intensity greater? Is the mindset different? How would you describe it?
I can't say. Personally, for myself, I don't know if it's any different. You know, I've been looking forward to it since, you know, the win against Miami. You know, it's been a long time that you've had off. I'm always intense when it comes to this, and I'm always thinking about it. So I don't know if there's anything different for me personally, but I think everybody has a sense of urgency. We're all anxious to take it a day at a time, but everybody's excited about the opportunity that we have.
But I know it's been a long road for you to get back to this point. Do you feel like everything has kind of been building for this playoff run for you?
Yeah, it's been a long road since November 10th or 11th, 2020. You know, when it first started with ACL, and then you trained for 14 months. And unfortunately, everybody knows what happened in the Super Bowl. We trained another 19 months. Like, it's been a long two and a half years. So kind of all boils down to this. You know, you only have 4 or 5 days guaranteed left. Everything else you earn after that. Everything else after that you've earned. And you know, I don't think anybody in this building takes it lightly. Such a long journey. When you get towards the end, it's like you might as well reap the benefits of, you know, all the hard work you put in. So we're all fighting for the opportunity to earn the opportunity to be able to practice again for another week. It starts with, you know, beating a very good team, the Houston Texans. They've got everything rolling and clicking. It's not going to be an easy task, but I think this team is up for the challenge.
You've talked about energy, you know, since you've signed here. How would you describe the energy of this team going into the playoffs?
I mean, it's electric. You know, you have guys at every single position, special teams, offense, defense, quarterback, linebackers, the DBs, the receivers. I mean, it's definitely just, you know, it's one of those teams that's very hard to beat. And when you have such a tight-knit group, everybody playing for each other, you know, brothers, it makes things a lot more fun when you come out victorious. So I know that, like I say, everybody knows the task is at hand. Just got to take it a day at a time.
Odell, have you noticed anything different with Lamar? Because, you know, he's been focused on that one goal. Now it's postseason time. Have you noticed anything different the past couple weeks with Lamar?
Same since the minute we stepped in there. You know, his eyes are on that prize. His approach. If anything, he looks even more focused and locked in. He never so. It's been an exciting season for all of us. It's been a historical season for himself. I don't know if he won the MVP already. I haven't seen the news, but you know, he's the leader, the heart and soul of this team. We're just trying to find a way to scratch and claw for another victory.
Odell, you said some very complimentary things about Harbaugh before the season. Now that you've had a full season playing for him, what would you kind of say about that experience?
I changed my mind. Not all of it. Terrible. Everything about it. It's just like I've told y'all, you know, the way he runs his place. You know when people care for you. It's not like just politics or just this is your job to act this way. This is a genuine act that he has. And I feel like it kind of reflects through his build. And definitely reflects on values and things that I stand for, love, you know, all of those things. He's absolutely tremendous. He's been everything that I could ask for. He goes on my Mount Rushmore of coaches there, for sure.
You sit next to Zay Flowers. You sit next to Zay. How have you seen him mature this season and become a better player?
I think experience is always the best teacher. You know, there's really nothing better than that. You know, you get to see those things and just the maturity to withstand the storm, and you know, the idea of the rookie wall and all of those things. And he kind of hit the ground at full speed and kind of just kept going. And I could see that he was, you know, gearing up. And I just try and have conversations with him to instill confidence, conversations if there's anything needed. Hey, what'd you work on today? What'd you get better at? Is it that you want to do better? How's your body? Just kind of try to stay there for him. And I told him, you know, this is where you start your legacy. You know, that was all fun and cool, rookie year, we'll put it behind us, but this is where you cement yourself in stone. This is where your legacy truly begins. So I know that he's excited for it. I know everybody here is excited for it. It's just amazing opportunity we have.
So, you know what this is all about: postseason, winning championships. Do you try to impart that knowledge on your teammates, or do they seek it out? What changes in the postseason?
Well, I mean, right away it's win or go home. You know, I'm here if guys need me and if they would need to lean on me. But at the end of the day, I just don't think playoff experience matters. Every year is new, new challenges, new team, new teammates. Wherever you are, if you've been somewhere for 10 years, 20 years, or a year, everything's different. So, you know, I just think it comes down to the simple fundamentals of football: catching, running, tackling, hiking the ball, simple stuff like that, of being on point every single play and doing it for 60 minutes.
So when you look around the room at your teammates this year when you enter the postseason, how ready is this bunch of people?
You know, I'm not one to sit here and say we're ready or not ready. I just think at the end of the day, as a group, we know the task at hand, and we're going to play Saturday night at 4:30.
What do you see out of this Texans offense, C.J. Stroud and his weapons?
Yeah, I think something that not many people have talked about is their O-line play and how well they've performed. Former teammate over there, Shaq Mason, is playing really good football, as well as Tunsil and Dieter, their center. They're just doing a really good job as a group playing. And then obviously you gotta, if you haven't watched or you know anything about the Texans, C.J. Stroud's played tremendous for them. Nico Collins done a really good job, and then Singletary running the ball. So I think collectively, you know, C.J. Stroud's kind of overshadowed some of the guys that have been playing really well, but they've been a really complete offense, and you know, they've done a really good job of attacking downfield and running the ball. So we're excited for the challenge. We just got to play Ravens football.
Kyle, do you remember what you were doing week one? Exactly
I do.
what-
I was watching everybody in the league, thinking I can still play football. So it's exciting. I won't forget it, and you know, I keep that chip on my shoulder that I wasn't wanted by a lot of teams, and you know, I'm grateful for the Ravens reaching out and believing in me and then throwing me in. It only took a couple days for them to be like, oh, this dude's ready to play. And then I've been hitting the ground running, and it's awesome. And I just appreciate the guys embracing me here, and I'm excited to play in another playoff environment. This will be my 10th season, and I've gone to the playoffs 8 out of my 10 seasons. So I'm really excited about that, and another opportunity to showcase my skills, and then as well as play with this team. Very excited that the team we've had and the type of dudes that are here, we really like each other, and we hope to perform at a high level on Saturday night.
Kyle, I know this is your first year with Lamar, but have you gotten a sense for how meaningful a playoff breakthrough would be for him?
You know, I think it's meaningful for everybody, but I think for him, you know, he's said it all year, and I think you know the 3 words that he's said: I'm locked in, and he means it.
You've experienced playoff football. The cliche is that the intensity ramps up. What do you think about that? Does it? How do you view it?
Yeah, I mean, to sit here and blow that off and say intensity doesn't ramp up, I think they're full of you know what, and it does. It means a lot more because it's, you know, win or go home. It's either you move to the next round and you're the last team, you know, you're one of 4 teams, or you're getting a trash bag and clearing out your locker room. And so it means a lot, and so the intensity and urgency needs to be up there, but at the same time we're going to continue to do what we do best, which is have fun, play our keys, read our keys, and play football.
With that being said, how much does patience get tested with last week the unknown, and now are you just waiting and Saturday can't get here soon enough?
You know, I don't think it's necessarily, you know, testing patience, because we earned the right to have that week. We were the number 1 seed, and so it wasn't about patience, but it was just coming in with the right mindset each and every day to get better. And I think we did as a group. I think we got well rested as a group, and I'm excited to get out on the field. I'm sure you guys are excited to report a game. So we're all excited as a group. How about that? Yeah.
Played for a defensive legend, Bill
So
Belichick.
you're gonna have to start over.
You played for a defensive legend in New England, and
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, obviously a rising star here in Baltimore and Mike McDonald. Are there certain similarities you see in terms of how they approach the game and how they see
What's
the
your
game?
call? We got to go out there, strap up, and play ball.
You hear so much about how their offense has changed since week one. How has your defense changed since then?
Say that one more
We
time.
hear so much about how the Texans offense has changed since week one, but what about the Ravens defense since then?
Yeah, our mindset is just proving, who we are. That's what we've been doing all year, and it starts again. When we got an opportunity this week to, prove it, what his defense is about, and just let the whole league, see it, once again.
What are kind of your impressions of CJ Stroud?
Yeah, man, he's a pretty good quarterback. Can make all the throws. Definitely has a better sense of his offense. But goes without saying, we just got to do our job. Make it difficult on him. Make the reads difficult for him, and just make it tough for the offensive drill.
How much do you take from the week one game?
Yeah, you take every pieces from every game throughout the season. Obviously, we had them first week and won. But they're a better team than they were week one. So we just got to continue to prepare and do what we have to do to go out and win.
After coming in off that big win, Harbaugh, Lamar, kind of make sure you guys can start to survive. How do you get back to that level?
Yeah, I think we're still in our groove. Last week we had a pretty good schedule. Just continue to do what we been doing. Stay on top of our communication and whatnot. But it's just the game's around the corner, so we had no choice but to be in our groove.
Are you a patient person, or is this kind of like, let's get Saturday here finally?
Man, honestly, I've been watching these games, getting butterflies. Like I'm ready to go play. Now that Saturday can't get here much quicker. But yeah, I'm motivation to go out there.
How would you describe the mentality of the team after having the weekend off, watching games, and coming back here and getting to work?
Man, I think we're just all hungry. I think everybody was just ready to get back and just know who we're going to play and just start preparing. I think everybody's just looking forward to preparing for a team, and just going about our normal game.
We've seen at the end of the day, we know what type of environment it's going to be. It's going to be a rocking environment. The fans are going to be into it, the whole crowd. We're just going to do our part and feed off them and hope do what we got to do to win this game.
Gino, last week, getting through last week, the bye week, really no opponent to prepare for. Now that you're through it and you're into game prep, I mean, how much playoff intensity, fire is there, and is it kind of taken up a notch now that we're into game week?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely got to take it up a notch, but I feel like at the end of the day, we prepared the same way since the beginning of the season. I feel like we have a goal in mind, and it's been set back in spring. It's just taking up another notches, since the playoffs. But at the end of the day, we know what we want to do. Everyone's coming in with the same attitude each and every day, even since last week, and we know what we got to do to get where we want to be.
How's your patience this week? Are you ready for Saturday to get here finally?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready. I've been waiting for it, especially since last week. It was a week of preparation and get everyone healthy, so I'm ready for it.
We hear some.
A lot has been made just about how much the Texans have changed from week one to now. Just when you cut on the tape, though, what differences do you see? It's not a different group, but they're playing together. CJ obviously having a great year, being a rookie quarterback. Guys that need to call and step up, having career years and things like that. So they're a different team, and so are we. We make strides as a defense, and I feel like we got guys that's back from injuries and guys that we added throughout the year. We're ready for this opportunity we're getting.